morning and welcome to the vibrant morning. Welcome to BTV. BTV brings you newspaper review only in the vibrant morning. And today, the 11th of December 2024, Wednesday, BTV is live again with you. And I'm your host, Daddy Isaiah, and with me is my co-host Lennox Odede. It has been long since he's been here because he's been outside there running up and down to bring us what happens in the county. Lennox, say hi to your viewers and your listeners.
Our viewers, good morning.
We've been running up and down.
That's too bad. I'm very sorry, my dear viewers. But we're alive and kicking, and we're very happy. You know, I'm very happy. So,
okay, that's great. I wish that should be extended.
Yeah. Anyway, we're very happy because you keep us moving. Because the comments you get from you people. How do you call the result?
The feedback.
The feedback, yes, the feedback you get from you people. You people are amazing, and amazing, more than amazing. Yes, and we have today our producer is Steve.
Actually, he's been doing amazing work.
Today our producer is not Legrand, it's Steve Wodsooner. So behind these smiling faces and behind this guy who is committing suicide with the tie, Steve is there. Steve Wodsooner.
I understand. I know rarely will you find Lennox necktie, but it's okay. My dear viewers, like we always do it once again, we say welcome to the vibrant morning.
Yes.
And as we said, it is vibrant.
Yeah.
Remember, we are in the festive seasons, and we brings you what is happening in Migori County and also in the entire republic as we look into the daily newspaper.
Yes.
Remember, you can follow us on Facebook page Blackman TV Kenya and leave a comment so that we know where you are viewing us from and where we are getting you from.
Yes.
At the same time, you can follow us also on YouTube page, that is BTV Kenya, and subscribe. Please remember to leave a comment, as your comments are very vital. They help us each and every day to improve the services that we give to you here from BTV Kenya. And moving on straight to Mr. Lennox. What's happening in the county?
A lot has happened.
Yeah.
And by the way, we ended the 16 days of gender activism, and the 16 days it ranged from the violence against women, people living with disability, fight against female genital mutilation, fight against femicide. Is it femicide or femicide?
Femicide.
Femicide. We had the fighting for the right of the children. It was 16 days full of activities. So you know, someone might think that mtu anaweza fikiria kwamba ni siku 16 tu za kukaa, lakini kila siku ilikuwa na siku yake maalum ambayo iliweza kutengwa, na tumeweza kuona mambo mengi yakifanyika. Lakini kile ambacho kiliwasikitisha watu ambao wanaishi na ulemavu ni kwamba sherehe zao zilikuwa zinafaa kufanyika tarehe 3 mwezi huu. Hata hivyo sherehe hizo ziliahirishwa hadi tarehe 9 mwezi huu, na hata hivyo hawakufurahishwa. Kisa na sababu, nenda pale kwenye BTV uweze kujionea sababu ambayo iliweza kuwafanya wasifurahie siku yao. Nadhani Steve aliweza kuiposti pale. Sasa angalia pale utakuwa unaziona. Jambo la pili ni kwamba Governor's Cup inaanza rasmi kesho. Yes, inaanza rasmi kesho katika wodi zote 40. So what happens kuwa mchezo huu ama michuano hii ya Governor's Cup huanzia katika ward level, ambapo huchezwa kwanza katika ward level. Washindi katika kila wadi sasa ndio watakuja wacheze sasa mchezo mkubwa zaidi pale uwanja Uga wa Stadium. Hivyo basi kila mtu, kama wewe ni mchezaji, kama wewe ni shabiki, fika pale katika uwanja, katika wadi yako, uweze kushuhudia Governors Cup
na uweze kushabikia timu yako pia.
Na uweze kushabikia timu yako pia. Nafikiria wadi ya Oruba Ragana itakuwa inafanyika Oruba Boys. Wadi ya Waswetatu itakuwa inafanyika Nyamome. Wadi ya Wasimbete itakuwa inafanyika, hiyo Steve atakuwa anatueleza kwa sababu yeye ndio
producer huko. Leo utakuja ndani kabisa utueleze.
Hakikisha kwamba umeweza kufika pale uweze kushabikia timu yako, ili timu yako iweze kuibuka mshindi, timu yako iweze kusonga mbele katika michuano mkubwa ya Governors Cup. Na michezo hii itakuwa inafanyika katika kitengo cha wanadada na kitengo cha wanaume. Hivyo basi hakuna mtu ambaye ameweza kuachwa nyuma. Jambo la pili ni kwamba
na kukuuliza tu hapo, ni mchezo tu wa kandanda ama kuna mchezo wa kikapu na zinginezo? Ni
mchezo wa kandanda
peke yake.
Governor alikuwa na mipango ya kuhakikisha kwamba michezo yote hujumuishwa. Hata hivyo ameweza kueleza kwamba walianza kuweka mikakati kuchelewa kidogo, muda ukawaishia, lakini amewahakikishia wakazi wa kaunti ya Migori kwamba kuanzia mwaka ujao vitengo michezo yote itakuwa inachezwa katika Governors Cup. Na pia kesho ni siku ya Jamhuri, itakuwa inafanyika pale Rongo. So don't you miss. Fika pale tuweze kusherekea Jamhuri. Ni siku ambayo wazungu waliweza kutoka nchini. Ama unajua kuna ile siku tulipata uhuru, alafu kuna ile siku sasa wazungu walitoka wakaenda kabisa. Nadhani ni kesho.
Lakini wazungu bado wako Kenya.
No, ile waliacha
nini? Siku wazungu walitoka.
Wazungu ambao walikuwa wanatutawala.
Sema wale wabeberu.
Wabeberu si ni lugha nini? Lakini ni sawa. But that's all for the country.
You forgot to say about we did see also in the course of the week we did see Uriri MP cry thirsty to be left alone with the governor come 2027.
You know in Migori, it is only in Migori whereby siasa sasa umeshika mkondo wake. Kwa sababu nakumbuka wakiwa pale Sori katika shughuli nzima ya michuano ya Owigo Olang, ambapo producer Stevo na Legrand waliweza kufika pale. Tuliweza kuona viongozi wawili wakisema kwamba mimi ndo nimetosha hapa, mimi ndo niko hapa. Na mbunge wa Suna West aliweza kuorodhesha baadhi ya kazi ambayo ameweza kufanya kato kama mayor, kama amefanya kama mayor, amefanya kama naibu mayor, amefanya kama mbunge sasa kwa muhula miwili sasa. Na sasa kumbe mbunge wa Uriri hakuwa anafahamu kwamba ameweza kufanya hizo kazi zote. Sasa mbunge wa Uriri pia akamwambia mimi sikuwa nafahamu umefanya kama mayor. Na unajua mayor wakati huu alikuwa anakaa kama governor, na deputy mayor alikuwa anakaa kama deputy governor wakati huu. Sasa Nyamita akamwambia kwamba inamaanisha wewe ushaongoza county, sasa hata mimi niachie, mimi sikuwa najua umefanya kazi. Lakini hiyo ni siasa. Pia juzi akiwa pale maeneo ya Rongo akaweza kuambia wakazi wa Rongo kwamba wamsaidie katika maombi, na kisa na sababu ili Mungu aweze kuingia kwenye roho ya watu ambao wamejitokeza wazi kuwania kiti cha ugavana katika uchaguzi ujao 2027, ili wamwachie uwanja yeye na gavana wa sasa Daktari Chilo yako, ili wabaki na yeye wamenyane sasa watu wawili. Na aliweza kusema kwamba yeye atapambana na yeye na ana uhakika kwamba atamshinda katika uchaguzi ujao. Atampeleka mbio. Wale jenzi wanasema watampeleka na rien. So but siasa ya kaunti ya Migori, I don't know, sijui shida ya kaunti ya Migori ni nini, kwa sababu ukiangalia na nafikiria pia siasa hii ya kaunti ya Migori pia ndio hufanya mambo yetu hayaendi sambamba. Kwa sababu ukiangalia Governors Cup ya kaunti ya Homa Bay, kuna mdhamini amekuja pale Kuna mdhamini amekuja, na huyu mdhamini amekuja na mazuri. Huyu mdhamini amekuja na pikipiki 44 ambazo inachoje mashirika ama
timu zote zinazoshirika,
lakini wale groups za bodaboda katika kila ward waliweza kupokea pikipiki moja. Inamaanisha kwamba hii pikipiki itakuwa inawaletea mapato hata kama ni shilingi 500 kila siku, lakini watakuwa at least watakuwa wanawekeza kitu pale
kwenye hazina yao.
Kwenye hazina yao. Na pia huyu mdhamini amekuja na akasponsor michezo ya Governors Cup. Inamaanisha kwamba ameweka nguvu. Sasa hivi tunaona Governors Cup ya Migori County hakuna mdhamini yeyote. Hakuna. So, inamaanisha kwamba hii siasa mbaya pia inawakera wawekezaji. Kwa sababu unajua tungekuwa na mdhamini kama venye Homa Bay iko, ingekuwa vizuri, lakini ni kwa sababu kila asubuhi unapoamka ni siasa, unapoenda kulala ni siasa. Kuna watu wanapinga kiongozi fulani, kuna watu wanapinga viongozi fulani,
hakuna uwiano.
Viongozi wanarushana maneno hapa na pale. Ukienda Homa Bay hakuna hata mbunge ambaye ametofautiana na governor. Ukienda pale Homa Bay hakuna, hata kama kuna MC ambaye anatafutia tofautiana na governor, lakini tuseme ni wachache. Lakini hapa ukija hapa kaunti yetu ya Migori, mambo yamechemka. Sasa nafikiria haya mambo ambayo yamechemka pia huwakera sana wawekezaji, kwa sababu kama hii Governors Cup ingekuwa ni vizuri kama tunakuwa na wadhamini, hasa hizi kampuni za kupiga punda wangekuja ili waweze kutupea support, kwa sababu governor ni mtu ambaye analinda wards 40. Unajua hao watu wote wanapokuangalia ni lazima kuna watu ambao lazima wakuje wakusaidie. Yes, sasa we expect the best of the Governors Cup next year. But lazima pia utasikia kuna watu ambao watajitokeza wazi na kupinga hiyo Governors Cup. Weka macho.
Okay, but let us hope that the county government with other stakeholders and other political leaders within the county will tone down the political temperature and make sure that actually even in Homa Bay, don't think every MP is happy with what Gladys Wanga is doing, but they have kept it cool. They have given the humble time to work. Yes, so even as you did talk about the 16-day activism against gender-based violence. We also say in page 17, who will speak for our men?
Yeah, that's another big problem. That's another very big problem. Who will speak for our men? I think it's high time, nafikiria watu pia waanze kuja waweze kuwafundisha wanaume, because there's a time
kusimama kwa niaba yao.
Kuna wakati nilikwambia kwamba, by the way, hata kabla nilikwambia hiyo, kuna wakati kiongozi mmoja mashuhuri hapa nchini, sitaki kusema anashikilia nyadhifa gani, lakini ukiangalia orodha ya kuanzia rais ambaye ni namba 1,
mimi nimekupata vema kabisa na kuelewa,
katikati ya namba 2 na namba 10. Sasa huyu jamaa, huyu kiongozi, waje nimuite kiongozi nisimuite jamaa. Huyu kiongozi aliweza kufika katika stesheni ya polisi, akasema kwamba mnajua nini?
Nimedhulumiwa na mtawa.
Polisi mwenyewe ambaye anafaa kuchukua hatua ili kuweza kumsaidia huyu jamaa, walianza kumkejeli, wakamchekelea. Sasa hebu niambie, mimi kama mwanaume venye nimejaza hivi, ninapodhulumiwa pale nyumbani, niende pale, kwa sababu naishi Uruba, niende pale Uruba police station niwaambie bana, unajua mimi jana nilienda nyumbani nikapata bibi yangu ameshika kiboko akanichapa,
ama amenichapa kofi,
ama amenipiga kofi, ama ameninyima chakula, ama ameninyima haki yako, haki yangu ya ndoa. Alafu polisi anaanza kukuchekelea.
Haki ya ndoa ni nini baba?
Anaanza kunichekelea. Unajua jambo kama hili linakufanya unahisi kana kwamba wewe si mwanaume.
Nakumbuka wakati huo, wakati ambapo jambo kama hilo lilitokea, unakumbuka hata Wakenya wengi walimkejeli kabisa. Walijitokeza nje wakasema wewe sio mwanaume, sio maana nini.
Na kuna wakati mmoja kuna rafiki yangu, unajua tukiwa pale campus, unajua pale campus kuna uhusiano, watu wanaingiza katika mahusiano tofauti. Sasa kuna wakati fulani rafiki yangu fulani aliweza kukusana na msichana ambaye alikuwa ako katika uhusiano na yeye, na akamwambia what you do, usikuje kwangu, unanipata, usikuje kwangu. Na huyu msichana alienda kwa huyu jamaa. Alipoenda kwa huyu jamaa alitoka hapo akamwachia nyumba, unanipata. Sasa baadaye huyu msichana yeye akaenda kwa maafisa wa polisi kwamba jamaa amempiga, aka roll kwa stairs, alichukua P3, kitu kama hiyo. Sasa baadaye tulipoenda kusikiza hii kesi, polisi mmoja akamkejeli huyu jamaa, wewe ni aje binti anakutembelea kwako alafu unatoka unamwachia nyumba? Mimi ningekuwa wewe wakati ule, mimi ninge umenipata?
Unapata kabisa.
Sasa unaona mambo kama haya, unapoenda kwa maafisa ambao wanafaa kukushughulikia na wanakukejeli, inakubidi unanyamaza. Alafu pia in an African setup, boy child was to be strong.
Men don't cry.
Yeah, ulikuwa unaanguka pale unaanza kulia, wanaume hawali. Sasa wewe unakuwa ukijua kwamba kumbe mwanaume anafaa kukaa ngumu.
Na jambo la kushangaza, hata kwa kanisa huwezi pata mwanaume mmoja akilia. Wengi wanaolia ni wanawake.
Na hata katika Biblia, by the way, hata katika Biblia,
wacha tusiingilie mambo na Biblia.
Katika Biblia ilisema kwamba wewe mwanaume, wewe ndio utafanya kazi ngumu zaidi ya kuhakikisha kwamba kuhakikisha kwamba watoto wako wanakula, bibi yako anakula na mambo kama hayo. Na wewe mwanamke, wewe uchungu utahisi ni ule uchungu wa kuleta maisha duniani
wakati unapozaa,
wakati ambapo unaleta maisha ama mgeni duniani. Sasa unaona hata Biblia ilifanya
but you see, when I look at that context, I don't want to get into the Bible because of what you're doing, but you look at it, the Bible is, when you read that scripture, it says, I will increase your pain during childbearing. It means the pain was there. Something which is being increased, it means already it was existing. You will read that when you get back home late in the evening. Okay.
You will help me elaborate it after this.
Okay, welcome back, my dear viewers. Please remember, keep tuned to BTV. Remember, we are waiting for your comments. Now let us dive into what we are having in the People Daily newspaper. Now, looking onto the cover page of the People Daily newspaper, the big story: Shah drops 104 billion Adani tech system.
Page 4.
That is on page 4 of the People Daily newspaper. And Apro, Great Sakaja scheme to lease Wangare's iconic Uhuru Park. There's a story that Sakaja had a plan to lease out Uhuru Park, and it's called, the park next to Uhuru Park is called
Wangari.
We have the Wangari Park, we have the Wangari Park is the same Uhuru Park. Then we have, there's a park up here, I'm just forgetting the name, Central Park. Central Park is a bit, Central Park. So, I understand. I wish you could even to make Uhuru Park. Can you locate Uhuru Park for this place? Okay, thank you so much. So, and also we see an Auditor General has raised a query of over 30 billion Kenyan shillings spent in Tuaka Dam that will go down the drain, and that is on page 2 of the People Daily newspaper. Now, as we move on, anti-femicide demos. Yes, people demonstrating. They say, you see the picture there, say their names: Sheila, Mercy, Christine, Ann, and Ivy. Those are part of the names of ladies who have suffered.
Demos, juzi tulikuwa na sherehe za Nyina. And it's like that
Tuonam.
Tuonam. Nyina, they were quite
It's okay, it's all right. That's part of what we do here.
But sometimes women I think one of our leaders come up for now where we
And because of that, we also have on page 17 modern family, who will speak for men, for our men. We're going to check on that today. We don't want to miss on that. Now let us get into page 2 of the People Daily newspaper. Health CS calls on Africa nations to join Kenya to large HIV donor gap. A story by George Kibasu. Now, Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Baraza has urged African counterparts to join Kenya in supporting the United Nations program on HIV/AIDS, UNAIDS financial kitty, in order to fill the gap to be left by the reduced contributions. Now, the story continues. She regretted that despite the USAID being instrumental in coordinating a global multi-sectoral response that has saved millions of lives, reduced contribution from significant donors have left the organization vulnerable. So we see here many organizations that were supporting HIV prevention and protection, and they're now pulling back. And we see now CS for Health, Deborah, is calling on African nations to come in and contribute something towards the kitty, as this is going to help to bridge the gap that is now being experienced. Your take on that?
My take on this is that before ni mikakati gani ambayo serikali inaweza kuweka kwamba hawa wadau ambao hawarudi ama hawaendi mahali. Unajua hizi lengo inaweza kutoka kwa moja za hapa mzuri ambaye ni sana wasichana wadogo sitaki yake kwa sababu inakuwa na wapea ya wakati. Lakini kwa hiyo sana dada hasa wanafunzi ambao bado wanaendelea na masomo yao kwa kuwatia swala kwa kuwafundisha kwa kupata ya kuwa na project kama ile ya kilimo. Na wakati tunapata kuona wasichana wadogo wakijihusisha na kilimo cha mbuzi, kilimo cha ng'ombe, kondoo na mifugo na mazao, na ni jambo ambalo linafurahisha sana. Na pia waliweza kusema kwamba kila mwaka huwa wanalipa karo za wanafunzi hao na wanafunzi zaidi ya 10,000 kila mwaka. Inamaanisha kwamba hawa watu wamekuwa wakisaidia sana, pia wanawaelimisha hawa wasichana wengi kuhusiana na ugonjwa wa ukimwi na pia wanachangia sana katika kuleta dawa za kupunguza ukali wa ugonjwa huu. Inamaanisha kwamba hawa watu wanapotaka ama wanapoishia kutoka nchini Kenya, inamaanisha kwamba hawapati mazingira mazuri ya kufanya kazi nchini Kenya. Basi serikali iweze kuangalia kwamba mbona hawa watu wanataka, na kama serikali tumeenda wakosea namna gani? Je, kuwekea mazingira mabaya ya kufanya kazi ama ni kuwafanyia nini? Na kama ni kuwekea mazingira mabaya ya kufanya kazi, basi chini na wahakikishe kwamba hawa wakati wanafanya mazingira mazuri ya kufanya kazi, kwa sababu kuna wakati mmoja lakini kuna wakati ambapo watu ambao huwa wanaleta dawa za kupunguza ukali za ugonjwa huu walishindwa kukomesha kuleta dawa hizo nchini Kenya. Na unakumbuka Wakenya wengi walijieleza wazi na kusema kwamba iwapo itakuwa ni hivi, basi hata sisi tunaweza hata wale watu ambao wanaishi na ugonjwa huu, basi inamaanisha kwamba hata sisi wenyewe tumekufa, kwa sababu hizi ndio dawa ambazo zimekuwa zikifanya zinaendelea na maisha,
zimekuwa tegemeo letu.
Nataka kutoa ama sasa hawa watu wanapotaka kukomesha inamaanisha kwamba sisi hai. Sasa huku tunaona Wakenya ambao walitoa walisia sio kuangalia watu ambao wanaishi na ugonjwa katika kaunti za Nyanza, hasa jamii ya inamaanisha kwamba
na kando na hiyo pia ningeshauri wa Kenya ama serikali ya Kenya lazima wawe na mikakati. Unajua hakuna mtu ambaye atakuja kusaidia maisha yako yote. Lazima uwe na mikakati ya kwamba baada ya hiki mimi nastahili kufanya hivi, ili hata iwapo ataondoka bado itakuwa na suluhisho. Hilo ni jambo ambalo limekuwa kero sana hata Afrika nzima. Sasa hivi Debra CS anaita washirika katika Afrika yote ya kwamba waweke kitu kwenye kitu, ili jambo kama hili lisiwe na mambo mingi ambayo yanafanya kazi ambao walikuwa wanafanya kurudi chini. Lakini nasi kama Wakenya, nasi kama serikali tuna mikakati gani? Na nilipendezwa hapo awali tulipogundua ya kwamba inaitwa kuna hao washirika ambao wanafanya utafiti, walitoa utafiti wao na wakasema kwa miaka zijazo au ugonjwa huo wa ukimwi Kenya itakuwa inaisha. Watu ambao hata mambo na walikuwa wanajaribu kusema mambo kama hiyo. Sasa unajua mikakati kama hiyo yanastahili kufunguliwa mbele, kupewa mstari wa mbele, ili Wakenya wawe na suluhisho yao, wawe na mambo ambayo wanaweza kujitegemea na sio tu kuangalia tu wafadhili, kwa sababu kuna wakati pesa itakosekana na wakati sasa haipo. Je, nini kuna mkakati gani?
Sasa inamaanisha kwamba kama hapo anaelewana vizuri katika sasa, inamaanisha kwamba atakuwa anaendeleza shughuli za ile.
Okay, still moving on the same page. Auditor raises concern over 3 billion Twake water project. 30 billion Twake water project. Now, report also raises concern that certain section of the dam had accumulated washed up waste that had stuck in the tunnel. A story by Masimwai says Auditor General Nancy Gathungu has raised concern over the viability of Twake multipurpose water development program despite its globing 332 billion as at June this year. In her report, Gathungu raised concerns over the slow progress of the construction of the dam, additional cost that the project is attracting, irregular payment made to the contractor, as well as unremitted value added tax VAT. Now, again, we see now Auditor General is up again on Twake water project. What is really happening in the Republic of Kenya? We see every time a project is mentioned, you will see, and every time Auditor General is giving her report, one thing that we always see there, either this statement here said irregular payment and or regular procurement, but mostly it has always been irregular payment, and also payment that has been done on a project that has not been occurring. Now we see that this dam is facing a lot of challenges. There's a lot of money that has been pumped in. What is your opinion on this matter?
You know, I always blame the government. You know, once you launch a project, you need to follow up the project, because once you launch a project, kuna kuanga na wale maafisa, kuna kuanga na watu wanaitwa quantity surveyor, kuna kuanga na sijui watu, kuna watu ambao wanakuja pamoja, kuna project manager, kuna watu ambao wanafanya kazi pale pamoja kuhakikisha kwamba hii kazi inaendelea vizuri. Na iwapo serikali imetoa pesa na kuhakikisha na kusema kwamba miradi hii iweze kuendelezwa, ama hii pesa ambayo tumetoa itafanya miradi hii na asilimia 80 ama 30 ama asilimia fulani, inamaanisha kwamba serikali inafaa kufuatilia na kuhakikisha kwamba kuhakikisha kwamba miradi hiyo inaisha. Shida ambayo iko ni kwamba mnapotaka kukupea kazi uweze kufanya kandarasi, jambo la kwanza ambalo nitakuwa na kuuliza ni kickback. Wewe pia unapotaka kutoa, sasa kandarasi ni yako, unapotaka kutoa sasa kuhakikisha kwamba hii kazi sasa inafanyika, utatafuta yule engineer wa stima, utatafuta quantity survey, utatafuta siji nani wale hao watu wote, utawaambia yangu ni ngapi hapo, badala ya upeane kazi iweze kufanyika na kazi iweze kuisha. Na kile ambacho kitashangaza wengi ni kwamba subiri maafa iweze kutokea hapa, ama tuseme kwamba janga limetokea hapa kwenye Twake Dam ama Twake Water Project. Ndipo sasa utaona serikali inaanza kutafuta nani alipewa kandarasi ni fulani. Nani alikuwa anafanya kazi fulani ni fulani. Nani alifanya kazi ni fulani.
Sasa ni kutoa kidole cha lawama.
Kutoa kidole cha lawama. Ilhali ni wao ama ni serikali imeweza kufanya ama imeweza haijaweza kufanya kazi yake ipasavyo. So what we need to see, we don't want to see people being arrested after maybe a problem occurring, a big problem occurring. We want to see each and every government project ikianzishwa iweze kuisha. And hii ndio sababu unapata kwamba pengine mimi kama nikiwa rais sasa hivi nianzishe miradi, alafu rais ambaye atakuwa anaingia nyuma yangu hataweza kumaliza hii miradi. Kwa sababu gani? Labda atakuwa anasema kwamba siji pesa
zimetumika, pesa ambazo zimetumika hapa ilitosha kumaliza mradi huu.
Kwa mfano hapa kaunti ya Migori wanasema kuna speakers resident na haipo. Ukienda sehemu ambayo ilikuwa inafaa kujengwa, jumba liko pale lakini halijaweza kuisha. Lakini ukiangalia kwenye ripoti zinasema kwamba jumba lile limeisha. Kielekea hapa sehemu za Niwasio ama ukielekea
Ngege,
unapita Ngege, ukielekea sehemu nyingine tu hapa juu Suna East, utapata jumba liko pale. Lakini unapata kwamba serikali ya kitambo inasema imeisha. Serikali sasa hivi inapoingia wanapewa vitabu vile, wanaangalia, wanaona miradi imeisha, ilhali miradi haijaisha. Pesa zilienda wapi?
Mambo kama hayo. Also on the same page we have a filler story. 50 million set aside for National Assembly Media Center. A story by Anthony Mwangi. Now, journalists covering proceedings in Parliament need to embrace self-regulation and uphold the highest ethical standards in their reporting. National Assembly Clerk Samuel Njoroge has said the media plays an important role in informing the public about parliamentary activities, and accuracy, fairness and professionalism is crucial, Njoroge told the gathering of National Assembly staff and representative of Kenya Parliamentary Journalists Association in Mombasa. You can grab a copy and read much of that story. Let us move with speed to page 3. Pumps as Kenyan born U.S. House Representative jets back home. Yes. Now, U.S. lawmaker came home to a fanfare as national and community leaders roll out red carpet for her visit. A story by Nyang'au. Now, the Minnesota.
Yes, this lady is from Kisii.
Yes, the Minnesota House Representative. Yes. I understand. Now, the Minnesota House Representative-elect Hulda Momanyi Hisley is in Kenya for 8-day tour before she returns to the United States. She is the first Kenyan born to be elected as a leader.
Yeah, she was welcomed by South Mugrango MP.
Okay. Where you are a resident of Migori County, are you going to shift your allegiance to be a voter in Kisii? Okay.
If you want to read the story about the legislator
please and read more extensively. And we see also down there on the page, Kenya targets 5 million tourists by 2027. A story by Alvin Mwangi. The Ministry of Wildlife and Tourism yesterday launched a strategic plan that will focus on increasing tourism arrival to 5 million by 2027, as well as establishing Kenya as a premier destination under the banner Home of Human Origins. when I was going through this, it reminded me of the history. Have you heard of Olago Saile?
I used to read it as Olege Saile.
We have Olduvai Gorge.
Olduvai Gorge. We have this place called Inturkana.
Now here's where you know history. Yes, now you get those who are time for history.
If you happen to read Aliman,
the Aliman.
Yes, the Aliman in Form 1.
Yeah, they were happily still
it is the second topic in Form 1 after the introduction to history.
And also it is in class 8, we also have that.
Yeah, in class 8. Yes. But anyway, you know, education is just very fun. It has reminded me of something in Form 1. So, you know, there's this time I just sat down and began thinking that someone is teaching you, there's a teacher for geography, there's a teacher for history, and then there's a teacher for CRE. Now, geography
we have
teacher,
history and government.
Geography teacher will come to you, then begin explaining to you the nebula cloud theory, how Earth came into existence,
the Big Bang theory,
the whatever theory, and then the CRE teacher will also come. The creation theory, you know, the creation theory.
That man did not evolve.
Man did
that
not evolve.
Man was created by God.
And then the history teacher will also come to you that
the evolution of man.
So I was wondering, you know, it happened that my CRE teacher was also my geography, my history teacher, and again, my geography teacher happened to be a CRE teacher in the next class. Yeah, she was teaching CRE, and then, in fact, she was my churchmate. When I went back to the village, we used to go to the same church. So I was wondering, how do you teach creation of man? Then you come to history class, you teach evolution theory. How do you teach creation of man? When you come to geography class, you teach about Big Bang theories, nebula cloud theory. You know, then I just said, you know, education is just. I wanted to use a very bad language, but education is just fun. So all these people want you to believe in their theory.
But the irony part of it is one man or one lady who wanted to believe in two theories at the same time.
But anyway, we love it when people visit Kenya. And even in Migori, we have tourist attraction sites. Even in Kuria, in Migori, we have Chohinga. We have a lot of historical sites. We have Godkwero. You know Godkwero?
Yes, it's also a historical site. We also have Nyamgondo.
Nyamgondo.
That is in Sori. It is in Homabay, Migori.
I think it's Sori.
Sori is in Migori.
No.
Sori is in Migori County.
Sori is in Migori, but the lady is in Homabay.
Yes.
Then we have very big, beautiful stones and beautiful scenes, in especially if you are going towards Kego, how do you call it, Kegonga or?
Huko Kegonga and Timari.
You will see very beautiful sites, stones, Nini. So as the tourists come to Migori.
Yes.
It's a very beautiful place to be.
The story by Alvin Mwangi narrates how the government is putting on plans to make sure that by 2027, over 5 million tourists visit Kenya. And also, briefly, we also see Nakuru City in new push to be a national major tourist hub. We also see that Nakuru County, in partnership with the NEWSLINE City Kenya Limited, has unveiled a digital marketing campaign dubbed Tembea Nakuru to position the county as a premier tourist tourism destination.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
In Nakuru, do you have a national park or game reserve?
my friend, we have.
There is.
We don't national park. What I know about Nakuru is that it has a lot of sceneries.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
like the Naivasha. No, Naivasha is in
Yeah,
Nakuru.
yeah, Naivasha is in Nakuru.
Yes, like Naivasha, where we have a lot of
It's
flamingos.
called Vasha.
Yes, Vasha. Okay.
But it is, Naivasha is for Subaru boys.
There is a lot of good things in
Yeah.
Naivasha as well as in Migori
Yeah.
and Homa Bay. I think we need to make this country more beautiful than people expect. So we see Nakuru is also pushing to be a national major tourism hub. You can also grab a copy and read that on page 3 or moving on to page 4. Now we see
Before
controversial deal.
Before we move to page 4, the wale wapenzi wa chakula.
Okay, I was forgetting that. I did forget that you and the chicken, you are good of friends.
I love food generally. I love food. Good food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can see there Kenya ordered chicken most during this festive season. A story by Matthew.
No, but I think this one is for lazy people. Like these people, they order cooked food. So if you want to read, just grab
Please
a copy.
grab a copy.
There are some companies mentioned there.
Yeah.
So we don't want to mention them. But I think the best food, I always believe that the best food is homemade food. Yeah. Have you ever made? Do you know how to cook? I know you know how to cook because just by looking at you, you know how to cook.
What makes you think I know how to cook?
No. I know you know how to cook.
In fact, before this December ends, we have to prepare a meal and eat it in front of the viewers. They see we are good at it.
Have you ever cooked your food? Then now you want to take your time. You want to prepare your omena. And leo nimetamani samaki, ama leo nimetamani managu. You want to take your time. You want to prepare that meal. Chakula kinakuanga tamu bwana. Self-prepared meal. So
Okay, let us move to page 4. Yes. Controversial deal. Cancellation leaves Shah hurt. Yeah. That's the story by People Daily Reporter. Controversy continues to dog one of President Ruto's pet programs as Shah abandons 104 billion technology infrastructure following hard public backlash. Now, controversy continues to haunt President William Ruto's healthcare program after Social Health Authority, Shah, abandoned the 104 billion technology infrastructure system and opted to service of a local farm at a much cheaper price. And after the Adani linked international firm contracted to set up an enterprise resource planning system failed, Shah has also partially resorted to an old system previously used by the defunct National Health Insurance Fund NHIF as a stop measure.
Sina maoni, but
you can't say sina maoni and what you can say.
Okay.
You're like those women we see in the funeral. They keep on saying, oh, miata sina maneno, and you find after that she speaks for 15 minutes.
Yeah, once
you want to contribute.
Even in our church, when you see a pastor saying, when you hear a pastor saying, I only want to take a few minutes, I only want to preach for a few minutes, that pastor will preach for 2 hours.
Or they say, I'm winding up. They will wind up 10 times.
Nikimalizia naweza sema mara tano, but anyway, if in any case kama ni ukweli kwamba serikali iliweza kuvunja kandarasi zote ama makubaliano yote na kampuni ya Adani, basi I think this is a very good move because Kenyans, they really doubted Adani because Adani, it had issues even in India. Then we saw it had issues in USA. So it means that even in Kenya haingekosa kuwa na malalamishi. So I think this is a plus for Kenyans. And in fact, if in any case, if a local company is contracted to do this job, it means that we are promoting Kenyans. It is Kenyans for Kenyans. Yeah, you know, there's this slogan, buy Kenya, something like
Grow Kenya.
buy Kenya, something Kenya. Yes. So it means that we are embracing our people. Yes, you know, money must circulate. Yeah, so I don't have much to say.
Okay, and again we see that it is a big backlash. It is a kind of not good so much for the government to really prioritize the deal, but we hope our own companies will be able to
we have
pull up the tax. On the same page, a story by George Kibaso, state prepares to shed remaining health functions to countries. Now, the national government prepares to release the remaining health functions to counties amid financial, human resource for health and infrastructure chaos. Those are the major three chaos that we have in the county government. We have finance crisis, we have human resource and infrastructure. That is, it cuts across the whole counties. And it says the devolution PS Terry Mbaika said yesterday the consultation in Passe that saw the reversing of the decision devolving the remaining health function sometime back had been resolved. So it means that all the health devolving functions are going to be devolved to the county government.
Yeah, and this will be a good move because, you know, last week the different unions, we have the nurses union, we have the medical practitioners union, we have the health record unions, we have the katika kaunti hii ya Migori walitishia kufanya mgomo. Na serikali ya kaunti ya Migori iliweza kuandaa mkutano na wao na wakasema kwamba watasitisha mgomo wao. Mgomo wao ulikuwa unafaa kuanza jana saa 6 za usiku, usiku wa kuamkia jana. Na walikuwa wanasema kwamba kuna baadhi ya watu ambao wanafaa kupandishwa cheo hawajapandishwa cheo, kuna baadhi ya watu ambao kuna manesi wanafaa kuajiriwa wengi kwa sababu sasa hivi kuna dispensaries ambazo zinafanya kazi baada ya kuzinduliwa. Sasa wanapata kwamba dispensary kuna nesi wawili ama mmoja. Sasa unapata kwamba pengine usiku hakuna nesi. So serikali ya kaunti muuguzi. Serikali ya kaunti tayari imeanza michakato ya kuajiri wauguzi wengi. Na waliweza kukaa chini na wakakubaliana kwa kauli moja kwamba watasitisha mgomo na serikali ya kaunti iweze kucheza kiyeye. Now, I think this will be a good move because this will assist counties to jipanga with their health sectors.
And again, I think even as the government, as the national government does this, they should also remember that this comes with a responsibility. It means they need to also increase the amount of money that they disperse to the county governments.
So they will have to increase it.
That's a story. Please grab a copy and read more comprehensively on page 5. Plans to list Uhuru Park draw ire. Officials say proposal seeks to generate cash for parks maintenance and development and enhance amenities. A story by Mukalu Kwayera. Now,
you read this. Is it Aire or Aya?
Aya.
So Reggae Man will read us.
Now, Uhuru Park has drawn. We have Uhuru Park and Central Park. Yes, so Uhuru Park has been well known as a recreational place where you just walk there. You have, if you have been to Nairobi.
I've never been to Nairobi, but the story like here is that when you don't have money for lunch, and it's lunchtime, you just go there and relax. Then once the lunch hour is over, you just go back to your seat.
That's what most people say. But what I know is that it is a recreational park where you can go there, have humble time, have quiet time, just sit somewhere alone and relax. I know many people, maybe you're looking for a job in Nairobi, you've worked there the most part of the day and you're very tired. Yeah, it was free. You just walk there for free. You sit there. And it's a very big park. The two, both Central and Uru Park, they're like neighboring parks. And there's only a road, the Valley Road, between them. So I think leasing this will mean that getting into the park, you'll have to pay. So I want to agree, because for Uru Park to exist, Wangari Maathai did a lot.
Yeah, she fought. She really fought.
She fought for it.
Yeah.
And many people have seen the benefit, like during Christmas festive seasons.
And again, leasing it, I think will create more job opportunities.
To who? Because it has to be leased to a company.
The people who are maintaining it, are they maintaining it for free?
But we have the county government employees, Nairobi county government employees.
Who are maintaining?
We have the city council.
Then
What's part of their work?
If that's the case, then
and they are being paid by the government.
It should not be leased.
In my opinion, the park should not be leased out, because actually, as we are now approach Christmas, go to Uru Park, even as at now, you'll see there are so many families coming down together there. There are so many people who have their businesses. What they should have said is that those who do their business within the Central Park should pay a fee. Like we have people with kids activities, they should at least pay something to help in the maintenance. But when it comes to leasing it, it means getting into the park will mean that you'll have to part with money. And we have some families that they cannot even afford that, but they need a place to recreate. So you need to read the story. The story is on page 5 of the People Daily newspaper. And also we see future police armed forces hiring will be digitized. Mudavadi has said, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Story by Douglas Dindi. The government plans to digitize the recruitment process for members of the disciplined forces in efforts to curb academic corruption and ensure that fairness and merit prevail, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has said.
I think this move will be very good, because what we always see anytime recruitment is going on, what we always see, or what we always watch, and the stories we hear, no, they are just discouraging. I think this one will help not to discourage people. There are people who pay a lot of money just to be in the forces, and I know you've ever heard of the story.
My friend, I tried. I went to the field to run. I was looking for that job. Oh my God!
So with you are running, and then there's someone who,
My friend, I did not. I gave up.
Yeah. So you are a victim. You see, you are a victim. So I think this one will end such like cases whereby someone will just call, do you have someone? Yes, I have someone. How much do you have? I have this amount of money. So send me his or her documents. Yes. So kwa field umeng'ang'ana, umekimbia sijui nini, and then huyu mtu mwenye ako kwa field anapigiwa simu, there is someone by the name, by such a kind of name. Yes, look for him. Mchukue. So we did such kind of things. Hii itakuwa mzuri sana. Hata mimi sasa nitaingia. Sasa umri ndo sasa umeyoyoma.
You can still serve. There's still time. You can serve. You can serve. There's a lot of things you can do. You can work as a media personnel within that fraternity.
But it is always between 18 to 25. I'm past 25.
18 to 29.
Or to 29?
Yes.
Oh, then I'm still in the age bracket.
You are still within the bracket.
I'm still in. Okay. Yeah. Kujeni bwana, hata mimi sasa nijaribu.
And again, you have the expertise you can bring. Okay. Now, moving on to page 6. Thousands of citizens live in dangerous abode. Now, Nairobi accounts for 688 of hazardous structures, highest nationwide, highlighting poor regulatory standards. Story by Alvin Sumwangi. Thousands of Kenyans living in a close in a close to 1,000 residential buildings are starting to are staring at disaster and need immediate evacuation, architectural experts have said. A report by Architectural Association of Kenya says Nairobi accounts for 688 of these hazardous structures, the highest nationwide, highlighting the capital's struggle with poorly regulated development.
You know, I think it is not in Nairobi alone.
Nairobi just accounts for the highest.
Yeah. There's a time we experienced such cases in Kiambu. In Kiambu. So,
and many people confuse Kiambu County and Nairobi County. Yes.
So what you want to see is that once you have been told to evacuate a building as a citizen, if you really love your life and the life of your family, please evacuate. Because I remember there's a time, there's a building, people are told, you know, you should be evacuating, you should move out of this building. And then they delayed. What happened? We saw. And then usually there's a building, people are told to evacuate. They did evacuate. And then after a period of a week or so,
the building collapsed.
And we've seen people being killed by satellite buildings. So I think the problem is with the National Construction Authority. Because most of the time you will find that wameweka ile alama yao ya kusimamisha ujenzi. So wale watu ni mabwenyenye. So tumechoka na kuona kwamba baada ya jengo kuanguka chini ndio mnaanza kutafuta who was the foreman, who was the project manager, who was the quantity surveyor, who was the engineer, who was the architecture, who was the, no, please the government. Ensure that all these people who are living in dangerous buildings watoke. You know, even in the Bible, I don't know the exact verse, but there's a time when the Israelites did not want to go with Moses. You know, and then God just asked Moses, why are the Israelites crying unto me? You know, when Moses went to Moses. Yeah, when Moses went to God. And then, why are the Israelites crying unto me? Go back and tell the Israelites to move on. You know, that was God speaking. You know, that was God speaking. And then, what happened is just when Moses came back, he went with those who wanted to go. And those who did not want to go, aliwachapa na walienda. So at times you just need to use force. I don't know the verse, but it happened.
I wish I could get to read the Bible more and more.
It is somewhere in the book of Exodus.
And Moses aliwachapa.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, as we continue on the same page, anti-graft body decries lack of whistleblower law. No. Story by Ruben Mwambingu. Now, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commissioner, EACC Commissioner, has raised eyebrows over absence of substantive legislation to protect whistleblowers in the country, while noting that Kenya has made progress in terms of whistleblowing. EACC spokesperson Eric Ngubi said there are still challenges choking whistleblowing in legal lacuna being the lack of barricades.
I love this story because there's an incident, by the way, which happened in the county, I forgot. Sony Sugar.
Yes.
In Sony Sugar, there was a whistleblower who alerted the Sony Sugar company about the irregular. There's a supplier who went to Sony and took around 7.7 tons of sugar. That is amounting to around 7. It was 7. Let me look at the document. I don't know. I'm on air, so I don't want to give false information.
Even as you look into that document, we move on.
It was 7.55 tons, which is amounting to 963,900 shillings. So this incident happened between 10th April and 11th June 2024, and the matter was with the police, and already 2 people have been arrested. No, 3 people have been arrested while other 2 bado wamejificha, na hawa wawili ambao bado wamejificha wanatafutwa na polisi. Maafisa wa polisi ni wafanyikazi wa pale ndani ya kampuni ya Sony. Sasa hii sukari walitoa na hawakulipa. The person who went to take the sugar did not pay. So the whistleblower told the sugar company, the MD, that is Martin Dima, and together with the leadership. And again, and I loved how Martin Dima handled this issue. You know, he kept quiet about it until the suspects were arrested. That's when he gave out the presser and explained everything. So whistleblowers should be protected. If there is no law to protect whistleblowers, then many cases of corruption will happen in the country, and we will not be able to know about them. And somewhere in last year, by the way, a whistleblower alerted the media team and the police about some subsidized mbolea which were being taken irregularly from the government stores in the cereals. I don't want to mention the sub-county, but it was going to a private entity, private aggregate, and ilizuiliwa, and things went fine. And those people, they really looked for that whistleblower, and we knew him, but we just decided to keep quiet. Who alerted you? Who was this person who alerted you? But surprisingly, it was one of us, the media personnel. But we had to keep quiet because ukisema eti ni Gage alituambia kwamba mnachukua mbolea kinyume na sheria, you don't know what next they will do with Gage. So you will have to protect this person in as much, in any way as possible. So please, government,
enact laws,
enact laws
to protect the whistleblowers. Okay, moving on to page 8, integrity queries in pharmaceutical society election. A story from People Daily. Now, the transition at the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, PSK, may take a little longer following concerns some candidates may have integrity issues. Go to read that story on page 8. And also we have another story. I live to tell my story after being sentenced to hang. Peter Ouko went to the police to report his wife's murder and 6 answers, but was instead charged and sentenced to death. So such like things. These are some of the things that we were talking about. This person, he went to report that his wife is dead.
His wife
is murdered.
He's murdered. Then he becomes the prime suspect.
And from that, he was sentenced
to
hanging. But you can read the story.
Yeah, you can read the story
and get much of it.
Either find out whether it was true or false.
Yeah, the story is by Malemba Congo. In 1998, when Peter Ouko's wife was killed by a unknown person, he did not know that that would mark the beginning of his tribulations. Going to the police to report the death of his wife led to an 18-year term jail.
On that fateful day, Peter's wife had been killed just a few meters away from Buruburu police station in Nairobi, Eastlands, and like anyone in his shoes would, he went to report the incident. So when I got to the station, the officer said I should be locked in. I was surprised because the murder had happened in a place that the police protect, and they were in a hurry to lock me up, yet I had only gone there to file a report.
Now you can read much of the story. The story is good for the story readers. Please read that. Now we move to Page 10, quote of the day. Today you are taking all the quotes of the day.
Why?
Because you've been absent. So, and also the cartoon of the day.
Is this an accomplished pattern?
My friend, read.
We have UN experts.
Sebastian.
Yes. In quote of the day, imepotelea.
Okay.
Read the first one. I'll read the second one.
Okay, it says a reporter, that is a UN planning expert, Sebastian Gatimu, says many men are starting to change the pressure associated with traditional masculinity.
Yeah.
They are using their voice and privilege to shift norms and perception about gender.
Yes. We have NEMA official Catherine Baisi saying that we are encouraging Kenyans to embrace waste management as a source of income. When you separate waste items, you can make money by selling plastic materials for recycling, while food waste can be turned into manure. This is true. Yeah, this is true.
I'm getting you. Continue.
Yeah. The next one is Project Managers Institute of Kenya President Maureen Mbithi. The primary objective of the bill is to ensure that only certified project management professionals are tasked with overseeing critical projects in all sectors of the economy. I think this one, she's speaking about the issue of building which are collapsing because there are people who are good in project management. Yes. We have Patni the preacher and Patni the businessman. So that's the tune of the day. If you look at it, is on your screen. If you look at Patni the preacher, that side is white. It means that that side is holy. And then there is the other side, which is the dark part of the Patni, which is as the businessman, dirty money. So I think this one is portraying there are a lot of preachers who are doing a lot of dark things or bad things. But I don't know why Patni the preacher, this side is white, Patni the businessman, this side is dark. And again, if you look at the color of the clothes he is putting on, I don't want to associate it with the UDA.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, we have been giving you lots of what's happened in the People Daily newspaper.
Yeah.
But today I want to take the opportunity and read the feature story there. Silent sexual exploitation, epidemic in academia.
Yes.
I had a lot of stories when I was in college.
Yeah.
About this. I would like us to read and read more. Now let me take on thought of the day. To know is to know that you know nothing. That is the meaning of true knowledge.
Socrates, the philosopher. Socrates was a philosopher. To know is to know that you know nothing.
That's the
so
thought.
It means that when someone tells you that you know nothing, just accept that you know nothing. Yeah.
Arrest warrant issued against student leader, that is Manyara, is accused of receiving money by falsely using the name of Court of Appeal President. A story by Alphonse Mungau, that is on page 13. A Nairobi court yesterday used a warrant of arrest against former University of Nairobi Student Association's official accused of receiving 1 million from a litigant by impersonating Justice Daniel Musinga, the president of the Court of Appeal. You can read much of that story as we continue. Also, activists condemn police violence in peaceful demonstrations.
Yeah.
Now, several right groups have issued a statement condemning the excessive use of force by police. Faithful story by Faith Masharia and Wangari Njuguna.
Yeah.
You can also grab a copy and read that story on page 14. I'm going to move with speed to give you that story that we talked about. That is a family.
Again, on that page 14, police in hand for man who murdered elderly sex worker. Yeah, just grab a copy and
read more. Now let us move to page 17.
Yeah, as we continue.
Men folk are troubled lot. They silently bear huge societal burden and responsibilities at the time when it is so hard for many to make ends meet, pushing them to dangerous ends. The story is, who will speak for our men? Now, men overall wellness is an important matter, but yet somehow it's overlooked by the subject themselves in an increasingly fragile segment of global population.
Yeah, and if you look Apo Jew, there are two stories.
Yes.
She won't forgive me for a text I sent my colleague. Inamaanisha huyu mwanadada amemnyamazia, amekataa kumsamehea for just a text he sent to a colleague.
That is on page 4.
Yeah, you read that on page 6.
Page 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to read that. And then, does death lurk around family? This one. No, is this one really related to this? And this one is. I don't think that is related to that. Yeah.
But you see, it is so funny what happens in the today's society.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know whether this is my life or this is other people's lives. But grab a copy and read much of that stories.
Yeah,
let us move.
each and everyone has a story.
Yes.
Yeah,
let us move with speed. And remember, before we forget, we'll be hosting with us somebody, an expert in matters of relationship. So please keep tuned to BTV. You'll get to get more and more and more and more.
Yes.
I'm moving very fast with speed to matters of sports.
Yeah.
To matters of sports. If you're a lover of sports, please keep tuned. Remember, BTV is here to give you what is in the People Daily newspaper. We are giving you much better and best. Now, on matters on sports, on page 35, Kisumu grooms future champs. You can get that. Lakeside City pick April 24th for long-awaited elections. I don't know whether Tanu will be, but we see Lethal Palmer.
Yeah, Lethal Palmer. Love this story.
How Chelsea star dominates games, no matter what position he is. We almost lost last weekend. You are losing. If if not for the penalties, for the 2 penalties that were awarded to you, the game would have gone down 2-3.
If not for Cucurella's shoes, I don't know what happened with the shoes, but it was just sliding like kiloboto juu ya how do we call a bald-headed person in Kiswahili?
My friend, be very careful what you say. You are a light. And we also see there, Atletico Club just can't stop winning in Spanish La Liga. You can also read that story. And also we have Alonso brings Leverkusen's efficiency to new heights.
Yes.
That's Xavi Alonso, the famous. And let us move also very fast. Wolves owners Fuso buy back minority stake from US investment firm. And also why Mbappe is a pale shadow of former self.
You know, this is the problem of going to play where stars are made. Yeah. Should go back to PSG.
French star has not looked himself at Real Madrid. What does the future hold for him? You can read the story of Mbappe. And as we move, Pep Guardiola announces Manchester City will be last tour of duty in his career, as he admits snapped energy. You know, Pep Guardiola has really gone through a lot.
Yeah.
Will Balogun hunt Arsenal? The Monaco striker returns to Emirates, where he honed his skill as a young player with a crucial Champions League against Gunners. That is today.
Yeah.
Okay, let us wait to see what is going to be happening between Monaco and Arsenal. For the lovers of football, for the lovers of sports, that is what we had for you for the day. Thank you so much for keeping tuned to BTV Kenya. Thank you for keeping tuned to the Vibrant Morning. And thank you so much because of the feedback that we have received. Lennox,
Yes.
wind up.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a beautiful day. Have a blessed day. Enjoy your work. Whatever you're doing, just enjoy doing what you do, because that's what puts something on your table back in the house. And then we wish you all the best during these festive seasons. And very soon you will be getting our messages of Christmas. Yes, thank you so much. My name is Odede.
Welcome. See you later the day.
Oh, you with this one you will see him late in the day, because he will be hosting someone. With me, see you tomorrow.
I love the way he describes me.
But
This one, you know.
But he is committing suicide. Yes.
You want to strangle me? Please do not. Thank you so much for keeping tuned. Welcome to BTV. Keep tuned.